Moving Art. The new season is streaming and we get inside the creator's head. My conversation with Louis Schwartzberg. And the ninjas are back, baby. Find out what is in store for season 18 of American Ninja Warrior. And what does your digital body language really say about you, huh? Dr. Viviana has a lot to say about that. Colorado and Company starts right now.
Portions of Colorado and Company contain paid content.
Good friends, gonna get you through the day. Good friends.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Thank you so much for joining me on Coco today. We hear from our viewers frequently that they like this show because we have fun, but we're helpful too. Our interviews provide information that can help you navigate everyday life, and we're so happy to do that for you. It's like our purpose. And I want you to know about AgeWise Colorado. Now, I know from personal experience and feedback from you all that many older adults and those who love them are consistently looking for support and trusted resources. And that's where AgeWise comes in. So I have Bob Brocker, what a name, great name, on set today. He is the founder and president of AgeWise Colorado. Hi there.
Hi.
Good to
Tori.
see you. Good to see you. Okay, Bob,
likewise.
share what AgeWise Colorado is.
AgeWise Colorado is a website, and we have things for people to find to help them with aging in Colorado. So connections to over 1,400 vetted resource providers, over 500 articles on a wide variety of topics. And we do educational webinars every month, and we post those on our website too, the recordings. We've done over 100 of those.
Really?
In 5 years. So
What a great resource.
we launched 5 years ago.
Wow, and
Yeah.
it's doing really well.
Yes, it's doing quite well.
Very good. I'm sure a lot of people are going there. This is how well you're doing. 50,000 visitors to the site just this year. You were very modest. And you're growing. What can people find there? So you said you can do webinars, you can do resources, articles. Is that true? Anything else?
Oh, that's pretty much it,
Nice.
but that's a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And we built this service so that older adults and their caregivers
Yeah, that's important.
could find the information and resources they need. And the other key thing about us is we have a vetting process for all of our resource providers. So we're very careful about who we put on our website. And we don't have an annual fee that's required for them to be on the website either.
Whoa.
And so our mission is really to help connect people to what they need when they need it, because most of us are not very good planners. It's not humans don't do that very well.
No, I don't. I really don't. And it's all in one location,
Yes.
that website.
Yeah,
very,
it
very
is. Yeah.
smart. Okay, what makes AgeWise different than other sort of resources out there?
Well, there are a lot of resource directories. I mean, there's national ones and there's ones in local, hyper-local. Our focus, though, is what makes us different is we're really focused on Colorado, and we're really focused on having those vetted service providers.
Yeah, that's important, right.
We check them out first, and CMS ratings, for certain types, and a lot of providers are registered with different agencies of the state, so we make sure that they're up to date, check their licenses, and a lot of other things that we do that go into making sure that we have a good group of people on our website.
Yeah, I think it's important to know you're trustworthy and you can go there and know that it's been vetted. Because sometimes it's a wild west out there.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, especially now.
Especially now. Yeah, absolutely. So I want to talk about your newsletter. What can people get from the newsletter?
The newsletter goes out monthly.
Okay.
And it contains information. That's some of those articles we connect people to. We connect them to some of our sponsoring service providers. We have some of those, and then events that are coming up. So, like the webinars that we do, they're free to attend. All you have to do is register, and then we post events for other services that we have on our website too. If they just send us an event, we'll post it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love the idea that it's free too, that you just have to register. Because right now affordability, it's not so good. It is not so good.
No.
Okay, I really appreciate the fact that you will still reply to inquiries with a phone call. Old school. Explain why that's important to you.
Well, many people don't really know what they're looking for.
Yeah.
And some just are not very
Techie.
adept on the computer.
You're right.
And so we have the phone number so they can call us. they'll be leaving a message. We don't have somebody answering the phone, but we get back to people.
Wow.
And we get a lot of very interesting requests.
I can't imagine.
But we do our best to get back and help people along.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just pointing to a place on our website to say, just go right here.
Yeah. But it's nice to have that human contact too.
Oh, yeah, very much so. And our executive director, Barbara Boyer, she handles all those phone calls.
Good for Barbara.
She's very good at it.
Yeah, that's really nice that you get back. So you've helped so many people, and you hear it all the time. They wish they knew about Age-Wise Colorado, and that has to make you feel really good. How do you feel about the website?
I think we keep tweaking it, you know, as time goes on. You know, when we started, we had maybe 100. Now we have 1,400
Wow.
Service providers.
Wow.
And so you have to make little changes along the way. And we're in the midst of doing some of that right now. And we're always focused on making it as easy as possible for people to use. So they can find what they need when they need it. Everybody has their own unique aging experience. And, you know, no two people are alike.
The same, right? I'm aging too. I get it.
We all are.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah,
so
that's
it
true.
starts pretty early.
Yeah, it starts. Yeah, that's right. And I love that you guys keep updating it, because I think sometimes it can get some websites are very confusing, which is great. So you have a mantra, a quote that you keep in mind every day. I have one too. Share your mantra. I'm so interested in this.
Well, some of us remember who Rosalind Carter was.
Of course, Jimmy Carter's beloved wife.
And she had a quote that I really liked, and it was, there are 4 kinds of people in the world. Those who are caregivers, those who will need care, those who have been a caregiver, and those who are currently getting care.
Oh, wow.
So that's everybody.
Yeah.
And I think it's easy to lose sight of that, because it's going to, you know, as we get older, you know, even some younger people need help with different things.
Absolutely.
You know? I've been having an email exchange recently with a woman whose daughter has a disability. And she bought this thing called, you know, it's called EleQ, which is a robot a companion robot that sits on a table. And she's been finding all kinds of uses for this, for her daughter. And it's been a godsend for her.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's things like that you hear about, and so many people are doing so many things. And our job is just to bring those forward so that people can find them.
I think people don't reach out or understand caregiving enough. So I've been one, and it's so difficult. So thank you for recognizing that.
Yeah.
Age well, age wisely. Use the resources available to you through agewisecolorado.org. You can also access them on Facebook or Instagram. Look at you, okay? And if you want to call, they will call you back. Here's that number, 720-295-0163. I'm going to say that again, 720-295-0163. As I said, Bob or someone on his team will be happy to help. Thank you, Bob. That's very good. So when life hands you lemons, you make a lemon meringue pie. You know what I mean? So Christy Ross shares her recipe later on the show. It's the perfect cure to the Monday blues. How many of you thought about getting into the medical field? Huh? You can respond to your screen, that's fine. This may be the sign you've been waiting for. So earlier, Kelly went to Pima Medical Institute to talk about the program, the hands-on training, and why this career path could be the one for you. Take a look.
Ryan, I am so excited to be with you here at Pima Medical Institute. Now, we know the demand for healthcare workers in Colorado is really growing. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, our aging population in Colorado is leading to that demand. Also, the increased need for diagnostic tests as well as rehab.
Right, okay, that makes total sense. So how does Pima Medical Institute help prepare students to be workforce ready and career ready when they go out into the field?
Yeah, our students come here, they get a lot of hands-on training. Our amazing faculty train them from day one, as well as our amazing faculty train our students on their soft skills.
Okay, that's great. So let's talk a little bit more about what makes Pima students stand out to healthcare places in Colorado. Why do they want to hire Pima medical students?
Well, our students, when they graduate, they are job ready day one. So because they're here, they get intensive hands-on clinical training in the labs, as well as out into externship. We have fantastic clinical partners. So our students get that hands-on training clinical partners as well as the soft skills.
Right, you can even see that here in this lab that we're in. They can get really that hands-on training with these, what do you call them? Do you call them mannequins?
Yeah, they're called mannequins, that's right.
Wow, that's truly incredible. So they're ready when they get out into the career. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this upcoming summer open house you have. Tell me about that. If someone's thinking they want to take a new career in nursing or in healthcare, how do they do that?
Yeah, they will just show up. They can schedule an interview as well. They can bring their family, friends. They get a chance to come in, tour the campus, check out these labs. They can interact with the mannequins.
Okay.
They can also talk to current students and faculty.
Oh, I love that. That's great. Okay, tell me a little bit about what other programs are available at this Denver campus specifically.
Yeah, we have short programs that are 6 weeks, like our nursing assistant. Our certificate programs are about 9 months. So we have dental assistant, we
Okay.
have pharmacy tech, we have sterile processing tech, medical assistant, and veterinary assistant.
Wow.
As well as we have 2-year associate degree programs.
Okay, so you can really find it all here.
Yes, we can.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more about radiologic technologists. Tell me a little bit more about that. They're really in demand in Colorado right now,
Yes, they
right?
are. Yeah, right now our aging population, as well as the increase of diagnostic studies that are ordered.
Okay.
There's also a lot of like outpatient like centers that are popping up that these grads can get jobs at.
Okay.
So that has created that demand. But yes, radiologic technologists are in demand in Colorado as well as the country.
And they're really important when it comes to what's happening in the healthcare business, right?
Yes,
People
they are.
don't realize how important they are. Tell me a little more about that.
Yeah, their job, if you don't have rad techs, you know, they're imaging patients, they're doing that diagnostic side. So if there's no rad techs, you know, patients aren't going to know like what their chest x-ray, what's going on, knee x-ray, hip x-rays, those type of things.
I'm here now with Cheyenne. She's a radiology student. Cheyenne, tell me a little bit about why you chose Pima Medical Institute to study radiology.
Yeah, so I was looking at a few different programs in the area. I had a family friend highly recommend this. He came here years ago through the radiology program. And so just kind of went with that and his word. And then, of course, you look for accreditation programs, which they are, and then passing rates, job rates, all of that. And they kind of covered everything.
Right, so tell me a little bit about your experience with your instructors here at Pima.
Yeah, it's been very, very positive. They all are very passionate about what they do, which makes it more fun to be in the classroom. They're all like very passionate,
Right.
welcoming, positive and encouraging. We can always go to them if we're struggling, and you can just tell they genuinely want all of us to succeed.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, tell me a little bit more. We're in one of the lab rooms now. Tell me a little bit more about the hands-on work you guys do to prepare you for your career.
So the first 2 semesters, it's very classroom heavy, but they make sure to get us in the lab at least once a week
Right.
to get that hands-on. They also provide open labs whenever you want to go in after class, which is really helpful, and it just prepares us for when we do go out into the real world during clinicals and just get that hands-on.
Right, and then you're career ready.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit more about what sets Pima apart from other medical institutes. Why do you think this one is the right one for people to choose?
I would say they focus so much the first 8 months
Okay.
on getting you ready to go out into clinicals. A lot of places just send students out to clinicals right away.
Right.
So I do feel like we're very well prepared going out into our clinical semester.
And that makes you more comfortable when you're ready to get out there.
Yes.
Confident,
You
right.
know what you need to do once you get out there.
Okay, let's say someone watching is thinking about a new career in nursing or healthcare. What would you say to them if they're watching but a little bit nervous?
Yeah, I would highly just encourage them to take the first few steps, look into the programs in your area. I would also recommend just shadowing whatever department you're interested in.
Right.
I had done. And yeah, just as long as you're motivated and willing to commit to it, it can be really encouraging and beneficial career. So
Thank you so much for joining us today, Cheyenne, and good luck. You're about to graduate, right?
October 12th.
Oh my gosh, congratulations. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Pima Medical Institute has multiple locations across Colorado, so listen up. If you're ready to get started, you're like, Tori, this is the time, and you're ready to get started in a healthcare career, you can schedule a campus tour or just check out their summer open house. Just go to pmi.edu for more info. Pima Medical Institute sponsored today's segment. Well, it's the world's most notorious obstacle course. I think I could do it. Do you? No, I can't. I'm talking about American Ninja Warrior. We sit down with the hosts after the break and find out if they've tried the course. American Ninja Warrior is in the middle of season 18. Can you believe that? And earlier, producer Colleen caught up with the host Matt Eisman, Akbar Gabajabiamila, and co-host Zuri Hall to find out what to expect this time around. Check this out.
Hi guys, congrats on season 18. I can't believe it. Can you?
Wow, 18 seasons. Wow. It's an institutional show, but it's cool. It is a blessing, especially when you just think about all that's going on and you see some of the other shows out there, like to know that we're part of a legacy show. It's pretty cool when you think about it. It's a blessing.
It totally is. So Akbar, on that note, fill me in. What can we expect on season 18?
Well, this season we're going to have in the regional finals, we're going to have head to head to head. Yeah, you heard me right. That's 3. We're going to have 3 ninjas competing and racing against each other.
Yeah, I'm coming for the top spot. It's dead even.
When you look at where the show started and where it is now, we've seen the obstacles evolve. Now we're seeing the competition evolve and pushing it and making the stakes higher. Like to get that prize, to get that title of American Ninja Warrior, you're gonna have to work for it. You're gonna have to run fast for it. And we get to see it. And I think, especially with the show, knowing that Ninja Warrior, part of Ninja Warrior is gonna be a part of the Olympics, and knowing that these ninjas have an opportunity maybe to compete in the Olympics, you're gonna see these ninjas show up and show out.
Oh my gosh, I can already feel the adrenaline pumping from 3. That's insane. But Matt, I kind of have to bring it back here to the root of Denver. You're from Colorado. We've had Colorado ninjas compete. In your opinion, does the mountains and all that help those Colorado natives, ninjas?
Listen, it's just like the Denver Broncos. They're training at altitude. That's why the Olympics are there in Colorado Springs. Our defending women's champion, Taylor Green, is from there. Gnarly Ninja Nate Hansen, who continues to show up big. Austin Gray. We've had countless stars from Denver and an incredibly athletic host. I couldn't even say
You mean talented.
Anyway, I think Denver's been one of the hotbeds. It's so great to see Ninja Nation out there, all the gyms that have been opened up and doing well. Lauren Ball's still got his going on. And we just love seeing it. And personally, I'm very proud that Denver is a hotbed of athleticism, even if the
host isn't.
Yeah. I knew he was going there.
Well, yeah, no, we're very proud of all of our Colorado ninjas. But Ziri, I want to bring you in here. So your role in the show is so interesting. I'm going to call you the kiss and cry of the ninjas, even though ninjas probably don't cry.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But how do you prepare for your role? How do you prepare for this, especially with 3 competing this year?
Yeah, for me, I think it's just extreme presence in the moment, because more than anything, that is my job, is to meet the moment, whatever that may bring on the sidelines. So it's watching every single run and really being locked in, knowing what the stakes are, particularly the emotional stakes. Is this a comeback story? Has it been a while since we've seen them on the course? Do they have to put aside the fact that maybe their mother or their father just ran? Did that run go good, or was it a bad run? You know what I mean? Because those are things that can throw you off your game, or they can really make you lock in. And so just following along with these people's genuine personal stories is what makes it easier for me to do the job throughout the night, because I'm as emotionally invested as they are, as their family are, as the fans are at home. So I really just feel like the lucky fan that got to be on the sidelines and there when they hopefully hit a buzzer, and certainly there even if they don't, whatever they need in that moment, I just try to meet it.
Well, your passion for it comes through on the screen. But here's a question for all 3 of you. Have you guys gotten on the course and given it a go?
Oh, wow. It's
Well, no, I have. He said he was an athletic host. He meant talented. He is talented now. Athletic. I didn't call him unathletic. I didn't say that.
Listen, let's just say my orthopedic surgeon loves when I try the course. That's all I'll say. You know what? I think we all have a healthy respect for how hard it is.
Yeah, we do. And I have the respect because I've actually done it. You see, these 2 here, they have not done it. I started in 2012, and I did it way past the time when I first started. So, I mean, it wasn't that long ago that I did it. You know what I'm saying? So, and I could still do it if I wanted to. I could get out right now and go compete on the show.
I know you guys are busy, so I'll let you get back to it, but we'll watch for you guys on the course and the ninjas here in season 18.
I gotta say hi to my mom because she's always watching Colleen. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
What's her name? Give her a shout out.
Joni Eisman. Hi, Joni.
You can catch new episodes of American Ninja Warrior Monday nights right here on 9 News. You can also stream it the next day on Peacock. Smartphones, computers, how are these all impacting our body language and relationships? Hear what Dr. Viviana has to say about it. That's coming up next. let's be honest. We're honest with each other, right? Most of us are guilty of spending too much time on our phones, our tablets, and computers. Have you ever stopped to think about all the screen time and how it impacts your relationships? Well, I had the chance to ask Dr. Viviana. Here's our conversation.
Oh, Dr. Viviana, hi. Oh, sorry. On my phone.
Same.
Sorry about that.
Always.
Always. Okay. So break it down for us. What impact can all of these smart devices have on our love life?
Okay, well, let's talk about the fact that everyone is reading into the meaning of punctuation, how long it takes to get your response, message length. Everyone is looking into everything now because tone isn't happening because we're not talking in person.
Totally agree.
So lots of mixed signals. I mean, there's that unclear digital communication that's happening. I see it in my office all the time where people are like, but I responded, yes, but it was with K.
Yeah. K is the worst. Never give a K. That's the worst.
It's like a slap across the face.
It's terrible to get a K. Or
Yes.
the 3 dots and then nothing. All right, so how can we avoid this? Because I've been falling prey to this a lot, where you can really misinterpret the tone, you can misinterpret the timing on it. How can we avoid this? And are you going to say call the person?
Well, I'm going to say at some point, maybe reference, like preemptively. For instance, I've had friends who have told me, or new friends, who are like, oh, based off of the way that you text, I thought you would have a completely different personality.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. And they're like, oh, you're totally different. Or, you know, sometimes if there are a lot of emojis involved, they might think, oh, I thought you were going to be like super young or silly or whatever. And it's like, I am neither. But so telling them like, hey, I tend to not have a lot of time, so my texts are very short, but please don't misconstrue that for being rude or disinterested. Or the other way around. I love to talk to text. So letting someone know my texts are going to be like a full-on book, but don't feel like you need to respond to everything. We're trying to use technology for convenience, which is a wonderful thing.
Right.
But when you're speaking to people and you're trying to create relationships with them, giving them some of the background so that they don't interpret it through the wrong lens is very important.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, some of my friends, and I include myself when I say friends, I'm like speaking for a friend, they have full-blown relationships that are based off of like a whole text thread. Like that is the relationship, right? And it can go for hours and hours at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a good idea? Meaning this is the new way we're going to be communicating, right? Or is this a really terrible idea?
Okay, I think it's a good idea because a lot of people feel less pressure to perform or to maybe they experience a lot of stress when they're speaking to someone in person or face to face. A lot of times people will be able to get their words out in a thoughtful and less rushed way through a text. Now, there's a whole other thing where people are using ChatGPT to write those texts, but if you can be authentic and sincere in how you're communicating, often it really doesn't matter if it's happening via FaceTime, a phone call, or text. The issue that comes up that I see most often is that a lot of people will create this like fantasy or a feud from a text thread that may not be accurately depicting what's really going on.
Yeah, and sometimes like for instance, if you don't get that good morning text or like the good night text, like these markers, it means like something's terribly wrong or if it's taking too long. And it just is like an added problem to the relationship. You know what I mean?
Well, if you're not able to do that in person, like rolling over and saying good morning or, hey, I'm at the door, I left your coffee on the, nightstand, love you so much, then the least you can do is send that good morning text or even a nice little wish for the day.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have to substitute the texting for what you're doing in person or can't do.
Okay, so if you had to give us one final piece of advice for not only like how to expect communications online, but for ourselves to be better communicators through the digital medium, what would be your piece of advice?
reread what you've sent or what you're going to send.
Yeah.
Reread it just once through. It's, I can't tell you how many times, whether it's not just typos, right? Because we're all kind of used to that, but it's that the entire meaning of something can change with one word or one lack of punctuation or
Yeah.
extra. So just reread it once through. It may be very convenient. You might think, oh, I've got this down and I've got my talk to text down, but just reread it. If a conversation is important to you, take the time to go through and review it at least once.
Yeah, like edit. Make sure we edit.
Edit
That's the word of the
yourself.
day. That's right. Well, thank you, Dr. Viviana. I'm actually going to just text you and let you know how thankful I am. So yeah, back on the phone. All right, perfect. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Got it.
Continue the conversation with Dr. Viviana. You can find her online at drviviana.com/vivid relationships or download her free new app. Again, it's free, called Vivid Relationships. We'd also love to ask your relationship questions to Dr. Viviana, so send your questions our way via email to mycoco@9news.com. Coming up, miraculous nature and how you can see its captivating images without having to go to the Sphere in Las Vegas. That blew my mind. Okay, the next season of the hit series Moving Art is streaming worldwide. It's so amazing. It captures the awe, the wonder of the natural world, and director, cinematographer Louis Schwartzberg joined us to share so much more. All right, Louis, there are stats that support that moving art and other programming like this is actually good for our health. So talk to me about that, and do you have any numbers? Because I think that's fascinating.
Yeah. Well, we've done clinical trials where people look at my nature videos, and the results have proven the fact that it lowers heart rate, respiration rate, and better long-term results. It's been used for PTSD and for alcohol addiction. So one group watched the videos, the other group did not. And as to why, I think it's kind of obvious. I think nature is medicine. It's a healing modality. When you watch it, you're generating serotonin, endorphin, which is really good for you.
Yeah.
If you're looking at fear-based programming, you're, creating, adrenaline, which turns into cortisol and then inflammation.
Yeah. I am dealing with that right now. So just so you know, this is going to be good for me as well. A lot of cortisol in Tori.
Yeah.
Where do you take us in the new season?
Oh, some great places. I mean, well, to the edges of the earth. How about Antarctica?
Ooh.
And hang out with penguins and take a look at this incredible piece of planet Earth that man hasn't yet had a chance to manipulate. The pureness of it, the fact that life goes on in this extreme environment, but it's symbiotic and it's all working in harmony.
Yeah.
We go to Peru, the Sacred Valley, where you see Peruvians do a pilgrimage, they dance, they celebrate. It's a great example of how beauty encourages creativity and diversity, because in every culture, the music, the language, the fashion, it's all different,
Yeah.
but it's all beautiful.
Right.
So there isn't a standard for beauty. Beauty is everywhere, and that's what I'm trying to uncover, the unique beauty of all these locations. And then also the desert's four corners, another one with flower blooms.
Moving art goes beyond the normal documentary. That's why I love it. What's unique for you about the storytelling and the visuals?
Yeah, I think documentaries for most people, it's really journalism, and it's and that can incorporate a lot of things about social injustice, et cetera. But my films are really more about a celebration of life.
Yeah.
And what I want to do is give people an immersive experience. So the visuals, the music takes you on a journey. There is no narration, so that it can allow you to open up and listen to your inner voice and to be healed and to reconnect with your soul. And your soul is connected to the universe, and that's why it's universally beautiful.
You're streaming on the Moving Art channel. This is your own subscription streaming service. Why was it important to you to create this platform?
It's a great question. We're building really a conscious community. What we're saying is change your media, change your mind. And you know what's happening right now.
Yeah.
I don't have to tell you, but basically, whether it's entertainment, news, or social media, it's really pressing the fear button.
Yeah.
Because that's primal and it's the easiest way to get your attention. What we're trying to do is, take you in a different direction and have an emotion that is actually positive and good for you, and to be able to really manifest the world you want to live in. So it all started actually, Tori. I had a lot of hospitals that wanted my work, children's hospitals. I couldn't figure out how I'd get it around the world by shipping it or whatever.
Right.
I met Arthur Blank from the Arthur Blank Foundation, and he's the owner of the Atlanta Falcons and the founder of Home Depot. And he's building a children's hospital in Atlanta. So I said, I'd love to have my work be in your hospital. And guess what? It's affordable to create your own streaming platform. And so this was a way to make it available to healthcare, available to children's hospitals, at the same time, open up a channel for filmmakers that want to be able to share positive stories of planet Earth. And I don't mean, Pollyanna stories. I'm talking about truth.
I just want to ask very quickly, what do you hope people take away into their lives about this?
Wow, that's a great one. I think to be present, to open your eyes, to look at life through, like a 4-year-old with wonder and awe, and see the beauty that's literally under your feet. You don't have to travel further than your backyard to discover, a universe of beauty and pattern and rhythm that'll turn you on and that will allow you to be grateful for the life you've got.
You are so needed, sir. Your platform, your movies, your documentaries. I just can't tell you how thankful I am that you exist. So thank you so much for this, and I'm really looking forward to the new season.
Okay, have a great day, Tori.
You too. Thanks, Louie. Wow. You can watch all 4 seasons of Moving Art streaming now on the Moving Art channel. Next, let's chat about money, okay? Consumer confidence, credit scores, and how you can boost your buying power. You know you want to. So there's a lot to know about your credit score and how it affects your buying power. With a look at what consumer confidence is right now, we spoke with Charlie Weiss, Senior Vice President and Head of Global Research for TransUnion. Look at this.
Charlie, this is a very important topic, especially right now, so I'm so happy you took the time to be here with us. Let's jump right in. What kind of research did y'all compile to create your latest study?
So TransUnion's Consumer Pulse Survey, we conduct this every quarter to understand consumers' financial sentiment. How are they feeling? What are their financial concerns? And the good news is that the latest Consumer Pulse Survey shows that a majority of consumers remain optimistic about their household finances. They feel like their household finances are going to be in better shape over the next year. And that's good news because there's a lot of financial headwinds, particularly with high inflation, gas prices, the cost of goods for everyday spending are up, but consumers are resilient and they're basically expressing their optimism around their finances over the next year.
I can tell you that affordability is a very big issue, especially here in Colorado. So what else did this study show? You were saying that there's some resilience with consumers?
There is, and we asked consumers about different categories of spending, what they find most affordable, what they find least affordable. And the least affordable categories, not surprisingly, gas. Gasoline is top of the list in terms of things that are really concerning consumers, as well as dining out, groceries, travel. These are all things that consumers report are putting a real financial pinch in their wallets. Even that said, when we ask consumers what their outlook is for the next year, 55% of consumers say that they're optimistic or very optimistic about their household finances for the next year. And that compares very comparably to the level that we saw just a year ago in second quarter of 2025. So consumers really appear to be holding their own.
I want to give our viewers some tips to help them have better spending habits and build better credit. So first up, what can we do in our everyday lives to have a little better spending habits with our budget?
So a great tip is understand what you're spending on today. Look at your credit card, your debit card statements, and see what categories you're spending on. Do you need to spend everything that you are on subscriptions, on dining out, on buying coffee out every day? There's just general things around managing your household expenses. But then considering future, making sure that you're able to buy a home, buy a vehicle if you need to, well, a lot of that comes down to making sure that you've got a good credit score, that you're able to borrow and access credit at good interest rates, get the terms that you need. And that means really managing your credit score and your credit standing, which is all tied into how you're using your credit cards, how you're paying on your different debt obligations.
That was actually going to be my next question. Why is it so important for us to be regularly checking our credit score?
If you want to make a major purchase, a home, a vehicle, are you in a good financial position to be able to do that? And it starts with knowing where you are today. If you are in good position, great. If you're not, take the steps now to improve your credit so that you're not disappointed when it's time to buy that house or vehicle. And that means checking your credit score and your credit report, knowing what a good score is. And if it's not a good score, what are the things you need to do to prepare yourself to take out those larger loans, which starts with paying your bills on time every month. Sounds pretty straightforward. That's the reality, is that nothing will impact your score either positively or negatively more than making sure that you're making your bill payments on time every month, your credit card bills, your auto bills. And then the other is keeping your credit card balances down at about 30% of your total credit limit. That utilization rate is also really important to your credit score. If it's above that level, find ways to bring that down through reducing your spending or potentially even taking out a personal loan, a debt consolidation loan, and paying down your credit card balances. That way you can be ready when it's time to make those larger purchases.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Charlie. These are great tips. Have a great day.
Thanks, you too.
Thanks for that interview, Kelly. You can learn more and see the entire Consumer Pulse study at transunion.com/consumer-pulse-study. Well, the perfect balance of tart and sweet, and no, I'm not talking about me. It's the lemon meringue pie made by Christy Rost. Her recipe after the break. But first, you can take Coco to go. See us on your phone. Don't get left out. Follow us on Instagram at Colorado and Company. We also post full episodes and segments on YouTube. So subscribe and stay on top of all of our great local content, because everybody needs a little more cocoa in their lives. We'll be right back. Sprinkle a little zest into the Monday by whipping up a lemon meringue pie. It's easier to do than you think. Christy Rost shows us how it's done.
Hi, I'm Christy Rost. The very first dessert I ever made at the ripe old age of 12 was a lemon meringue pie. It was my grandfather's favorite, so I wanted to learn how to make it for him. Today I'm going to show you the easy steps to this impressive pie. In a large saucepan, stir together 1 1/4 cups of granulated sugar, 1/3 cup of cornstarch, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 package of unflavored gelatin. Stir them together until they're thoroughly mixed. Then I add in 1 1/2 cups of water, 1/2 cup of freshly squeezed lemon juice, Now don't use that stuff in the bottle. This is the real thing. I'm going to stir these together, and then I add in 3 egg yolks. At this point, I'm going to switch to a whisk so I can whisk these together. And I'm going to turn my heat to medium, cook this slowly, stirring constantly until it thickens. Now, the pièce de résistance, lemon. I'm going to add in about 1 teaspoon of freshly grated lemon zest. So I will cook this. It'll take probably about 5 or 6 minutes until it just comes to a boil and begins to thicken. And then I'll cook that for just an extra minute, remove it from the heat, and set it aside to cool for about 15 minutes. Then it will be ready to put into the pie shell. Now that the lemon filling has cooled, I can pour it into the pie shell. Look how thick and rich that is. It's gonna be all tangy with that fresh lemon juice and the lemon zest. So I'm going to let that sit for just a little bit while I make the meringue topping. So I have 3 egg whites, and they're at room temperature. And I'm going to beat them just until they foam. And once they're foamy, I can add in a 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar. Then I have 1/3 cup of granulated sugar, and I'm going to gradually add this in. And I'm going to beat until the egg whites form stiff peaks. Look at that, that's pretty. So I just spread all of this, and I want to be sure to seal the meringue right to the very edges of the pie crust so it doesn't pull back as it cools. Now in the meantime, I'm preheating my oven to 400 degrees because after I get all of this onto the pie, I'll pop it back in the oven for about 5 to 10 minutes just to brown the top of the meringue. This lemon meringue pie is sublime any time of the year, but especially during the spring and summer. It's tangy lemon filling, topped with a cloud of melt-in-your-mouth sweet meringue is sure to bring a smile to your face as it tickles your taste buds. Take care, find the joy.
That does look, it would tickle my taste buds. Make lemon meringue pie and get all of Christy's recipes and cookbooks by going to ChristyRost.com. Well, thanks for your company, Colorado. Portions of today's program were sponsored by the businesses listed on your screen. And tomorrow on Colorado and Company, we have a Grand Marshal, green chili, and baby goats. The 411 on the Greeley Stampede. Watch tomorrow for all the fun. Now remember, everyone you encounter is facing an uphill battle you know nothing about. So be kind, be patient, be gentle, and then try to apply that back to yourself. I'm doing the same thing. Bye, guys. Bye.